55-year-old Anthony Sperano fired his weapon during a traffic stop when the woman drove off.
I'm still suffering.
Haunted by what she says was a traumatic experience at the hands of West Cowan Township Police Sergeant Anthony Sperano. He's now charged with simple assault and shooting into an occupied vehicle.
She came, I would say, less than 2 inches away from her death.
Sperano is also charged with assaulting Landry when she did eventually pull over.
I'm in the seatbelt, sir! That's when he immediately started punching me in my face.
Look at the guy's face. Look at the psychos they're hiring. You have to invoke your rights. You use your Fifth Amendment trifold. You get your stuff all set up in your visor with your laminated driver's license, proof of insurance, and registration. Cop asks for ID and you don't got to give him ID. Whip out your Fifth Amendment cop card and explain to him, I don't got to give ID. The law's in the blue. Put everything on film. Use the tools that I'm giving you. Here's another nice copper.
55-year-old Anthony Sperano of the West Cowan Township Police Department fired his weapon during a traffic stop in November of 2021 when the woman drove off. Takesha Landry says she was nervous and wanted to get to a well-lit area. Sperano shot through her back windshield.
I would never sign up to be a pig. If you ever found out I signed up to be a pig, you would have to say, man, they must have taken him and MK Ultra'd him. They must have hooked him up to machines and brainwashed him. Put a 1 in the chat if you would never sign up to be a pig.
The judge overseeing the case has not set a date for sentencing.
Get out of the f***ing car! Hold on! Get out of the f***ing car! I can't!
An incident that plays out on body camera footage and in Takesha Landry's mind.
I mean, what are we seeing here? It's a broken record. It's every day all across our country. Look at the psychos these jackboot thug pig organizations are hiring. You could never get a real alpha male leader to sign up to be pigs. Couldn't do it. There'd be no way.
I'm still suffering.
Haunted by what she says was a traumatic experience at the hands of West Cowan Township Police Sergeant Anthony Sperano. He's now charged with simple assault and shooting into an occupied vehicle.
He's charged with simple assault and shooting into an occupied vehicle. If you shot into an occupied vehicle, you would be charged with attempted murder. It's the DA. The entire system does not work. You can't have DAs working with pigs week in, week out. They murder, kill, ruin, destroy, wrongfully persecute, wrongfully prosecute. You go to the same DA. Shooting into a car is simple assault? Since when? If you shot into a car, you would be charged with attempted murder. Put a 1 in the chat if you would be charged with attempted murder for shooting into a car with occupied people.
The Chester County District Attorney's Office says just before this confrontation caught on body cam, Sperano pulled Landry over at around midnight on November 10th, 2021. The North Carolina resident was driving near Compass Road and West Kings Highway when Sperano pulled her over for turning left at a red light. She says she was afraid.
You have to invoke your rights. You use your Fifth Amendment trifold. You use your Fifth Amendment cop card. You get your stuff all set up in your visor with your laminated driver's license, proof of insurance, and registration. You get everything set up for yourself. You invoke your rights. You stand on your rights, and that's how you take control of the situation. Cop asks for ID, and you don't got to give him ID. Whip out your Fifth Amendment cop card and explain to him, I don't got to give ID. The law's in the blue. Put everything on film. Use the tools that I'm giving you.
Immediately when he snatched the camera out my hand is when I drove away.
He snatched the camera out of her hand.
He shot at me immediately.
An action that the DA's office says was not justified since Sperano wasn't in immediate danger.
She came, I would say, less than 2 inches away from her death.
He's being charged with a misdemeanor for attempted murder. Meanwhile, Press with Rancor in Michigan is being charged with a felony for filming a cop. Garrett Van Nett, also known as Press with Rancor on YouTube, is being charged with a felony for filming a cop as he stood 15 feet away. This cop shot into a car, shot her as she drove away, shot at her as she drove away. He's charged with a misdemeanor.
The Racial Justice Network has asked the Justice Department for a federal investigation.
We feel that we need a federal investigation to upgrade his charges from a misdemeanor to a felony. He tried to kill Mrs. Landry.
Oh, by the way, North Carolina, you guys keep on voting in Republicans. Republicans give your rights to the cops. I literally have never voted for a Republican ever in my life, not one time ever, because I've known what they do. They give your rights to the police. Do you know in North Carolina, you can't get the body cam footage unless you're a resident of the state? You can't get the body cam footage unless you're an incident to what happened. Unless you're a party to the incident, you can't get the body cam footage in North Carolina. Why is that? How come that is? They don't want a constitutional law scholar to look at what happened and say, that's a constitutional rights violation. You can't do that to someone else. You keep on voting for these pieces of shit on the right. You keep on voting for these pieces of shit called Democrats on the left. You can't vote for two wings of the same bird and wonder why nothing changes. Remember, it's Republicans in North Carolina. It's Democrats in Washington. Democratic legislature, Democratic governor, they did the same thing. They gave the body cam footage to the cops. You can't vote for Democrats and Republicans. We have to get a third party, or it'll never change. It'll never change.
Sperano is also charged with assaulting Landry when she did eventually pull over.
I'm in the seatbelt, sir.
That's when he immediately started punching me in my face and grabbing me by my hair and pulling me out of my vehicle.
So just so you know, this is policy created by the pigs that's backed up by the governor. This is what I'm trying to tell you. When I am governor, that's over. That policy will be changed. All discipline records will become public where I'm the governor in that state. You're seeing how they're hiding the body cam footage, and when the cop shoots at someone, it's a misdemeanor, but if you point a camera at them and shoot them with the camera, then it's a felony. We're watching it happen.
Now, the Racial Justice Network wants Sperano to be fired, but they say the West Calhoun Township Police Department won't even confirm with them whether Sperano still works there. They also wouldn't confirm it with us, the chief just giving us a no comment.
So many people send me an email and say, Chille, thank you so much for saying what I've been thinking for years and years and years. I just was afraid to say it. Thank you so much for saying it. Yeah, these guys are pigs. Jackboot thug pigs.
Your arms go to a touchdown position. That's how your arms do it. Your arms go to a touchdown position. You see this arm elbow bend right there? Phone's at the top of it. There's the top of the goalpost. There's the other side of the goalpost. Now I've got a touchdown position. Copper can't say I was reaching. Copper can't say nada. I had my license, registration, proof of insurance ready to go along with a copy of my driver. I'm a black man today named Denzel Washington. I had everything ready to go for the jackboot thug pig. I had everything ready to go. License, registration, proof of insurance, everything was together on a laminated card. I already laminated it. I took my time to do it because I don't want this jackboot thug pig to have any kind of power over me. I gave you everything I have to give you required by law. Leave me alone at that point. I'm not gonna play the game of why'd you pull me over. I'm not gonna play the game of do you know how fast I was going. No, 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 no. We've seen time and time and time again that you end up going in torture cuffs, that you end up going to jail. You have to use the trifold. Then the cop says, you know what? I want to search your car. And you say, okay, sure, you can search my car. And then you get out of the car. And then you turn around and you pull your trifold out and you say, you know what, I revoke consent. If I can give consent, then I can revoke consent. I revoke consent on camera. Now, from the 1914 case of Weeks called the exclusionary rule, he can no longer search. He has to stop searching. Anything he finds after the search, after you revoke consent, is no longer admissible in a court of law. If you have it on camera, doesn't matter what you have in your car after that point. You gave consent, he took your consent, used your consent, you revoked that consent, and then he searched your car anyway. It's now the exclusionary rule. No longer can he use it. Fruit of the Poisonous Tree from 1961, Mapp versus Ohio.